Hello, welcome to my video, another book review. This time, if you probably you can tell by the title what it is, but I'm just gonna say it anyway because everybody does in YouTube videos. Is Superman Red Sun? I've had this book for years and I've always wanted to read it, but I just have that procrastination problem that I think like everyone has, or at least a lot of people, or a lot of I don't know. It's like a very common thing I've heard, but also for me, it's horrible because it's like the what's the thing called? The like executive dysfunction where it's like I want to do this thing, but then like I just don't. It's like yeah. So that's a whole different problem. But yeah, this book finally read Superman Red Sun. Um, and I know it says some spoilers, but it's not gonna be like the Superman like Smash of the Clan, where I basically give a lot of spoilers. This is only gonna be like the general premise. So like you know it's Superman, but he's obviously a communist. It's set, I think, in 1958 is when the book starts, but like he was like born or sent to Earth in 1938, which that's when Superman was actually created in real life. When the first Superman comic came out, and so he lands in like a farmlands in Russia, like, and so like he raised by two people, and it's basically they're like his like this versions of Martha and John Kent, Mom and Pa Kent. But the difference is that Mom and Pa Kent they actually are still in America. Like one of the first things you see is Martha Kent, you know, her. Um, she is like, oh, I'm so happy Jonathan isn't gonna live. Didn't live to see the world like become what it is now, and so he still had that heart attack and stuff. So basically, this normal some Superman stuff that happens normally in every like in the normal Superman stuff happened in this universe. But then of course he landed not in Kansas, he landed in Russia, which and it's really interesting because like Superman is he's basically the premise is Superman wants to make communism like worldwide, but he doesn't want to do it like Stalin does, or like how communists try to do it in real life and stuff like that. He wants to do it a Superman way, and that's what really shocked me with this book. Because I'm like the reason why I put it off for so long, other than because I'm lazy, I guess, or I don't know, have mental issues. But besides that, sorry, that's just funny to me. Um, the reason why is I'm like I don't want to read another evil Superman book. I'm so sick of evil Superman books, which I haven't really read that many, but I probably haven't. I don't think I've actually read any evil Superman stories. It's just I've seen so many things about him. I just like Injustice. I never want to read. Like I think I read the first volume, like the first like trade paperback, but there's like tons of those, and so I'm like I like the games, but not because I like the story. I used to like the story, and now I'm like no, I don't. Why did I like these? Like they're basic, and it's like not even that great. And it's like I don't know. The comics are way better than the games. Like what I have seen about the comics, way better than the games. The reason I like the games is because you get to fight as these characters, and it's cool, but I just don't like Evil Superman. So that's why I didn't want to read this. Cause I'm like, oh, it's Evil Superman, and I finally did read it, and it's not Evil Superman really. It's just like it's Superman who still wants to do like good for all. Like he helps people who's not in Russia, obviously. He helps people in America and stuff. He helps the world like Superman does. Kind of like his Superman is not just like only doesn't help only just Americans. He helps like the world. He does the same thing, and like he just doesn't believe in like truth, justice in the American way. He believes in truth, justice, and the Russia way, I guess, the Russian way. Um, and so it's like really interesting to see like this Superman that's very similar but also very different at the same time go through these adventures and meet these characters and stuff. Like I really like the references to other DC characters. Like there's references like other like some like really cool things. Like there's a reference to like and more of them are direct than just like a more than reference. One thing I actually never do is there is like probably I don't know, people probably know this, but there is a Batman in this book, but it's not Bruce Wayne, and they never say and like they acknowledge other DC superheroes like what happened to them. They're all usually American, like they are in real comics, real comics, the main continuity. But this one they never I don't think they ever once say Bruce Wayne. They never say what happened to him. So the Batman in this book is not Bruce Wayne. I looked it up on the wiki and they don't say his name. I'm like I don't think they ever say his name in this, but I just had to make sure. It's like there's some really cool art in this book, like I don't know. This is why I say some spoilers. It's not really that. It's not like a huge spoiler. It's just like I just want to show the art a little bit. Like this is really cool. Like I love this. I love this picture from this flying off because it's so perfect, and it's cool. And then like of course yeah, here's Batman in He has a little hat on, which I love, and I love his outfit. He's like a freedom fighter slash terrorist in the eyes of Superman and people, and so it's really interesting. And there's just it's Superman is basically they want like Stalin wants him to be the successor basically, but like Superman's like I don't want to do that, but then he later on does do that, and it's just a series of events that goes on for like multiple years. Like, it's kind of like it reminds me of like what Marvel would do later or recently with the Life Story series, like Spider-Man Life Story and Fantastic Four Life Story, which I haven't read the Fantastic Four one. I need to get to that. I read the Spider-Man Life Story, which I might read it again and do a video on because I don't know. I didn't like that book. I know everybody was like I really like Sal from Comic Pop, and he said, "Oh, it's the best Spider-Man book in the past decade." I'm like, I haven't read Spider-Man that much, but apparently, if this is the best one in the past decade, I don't know if I don't think Spider-Man's been that good for a long time. Then, and so it's like I don't know. But this book reminds me of that because like it's kind of a life story. It goes from it starts in a certain decade and progresses, and people age, and there's like stuff like reference to presidents and stuff, and they show presidents, and things are different than how they are in real life, obviously, and it's just like it's so cool. And like the ending, I'm not gonna say anything with the ending, but I loved it. It was absolutely like I don't know, it was just personally like that is a great way for this entire book. The way this book is written was so amazing, and I'm like this is crazy. This is Mark Millar. Mark Millar, he wrote this because I've read like Wanted and Nemesis. I didn't actually never finish Wanted, but I did finish Nemesis. Nemesis was okay. It's just not my style of writing. I never read Civil War. I've read other things by him though, and like I don't know. He's like it seems like when he's not doing like creator owned stuff, when he's doing like Superman or like stuff like that, or like Batman, like that one issue of Batman, Legend of the Dark Knight. I think it was like I forgot what issue it is, but that one's a really good one. I can't find my cop. I thought I had a copy of it, but I can't find it, and so I'm trying to get another one. And that one's about a Christmas thing, and that was really cool. But I don't know if I actually did have a copy. I swear I had a copy, but apparently I probably didn't. But I don't know. I swear I did, but I know because I thought I had one, and I was gonna get a second one for my friend. That's what it was. I had one, but I was gonna get a second one for my friend because he likes Mark Millar. And I was like, oh well, I don't have an issue of it myself, and I know I looked through all my comics and I don't have it. So I need to get that. But yeah, Mark Millar did a really good job on this. He writes a very Superman. It's not like Homelander Superman, like or something like that, like like a deconstruction or whatever that. It's very much just like a Superman who was raised communist instead of like American. It's just like and it's just really, but it's still Superman. That's what's so great. And like the art I really like. I really like the art. It's really nice. It's just really nice. Like the like I love the like the issue covers like this. It's just really cool. Like him just flying out of there. Like that's just really cool. Like Superman is just so cool. And this is just a really cool story. And I love to see how. It's just so interesting because like one of the first things we learn is that Lex Luthor is like basically he starts off you read him like I'm like he's actually a nice dude kind of. But that's weird. He's Lex Luthor. He's never nice. And then I read more. I'm like, oh no, we just haven't got to that part of the book yet. Literally, it's like, oh, he's really nice. For each like 4 more pages. Oh, never mind. He's still Lex Luthor. And I love the reason why he goes like this is a spoiler, but like I don't want to say it actually, but like the reason why he wants to defeat Superman is not because like people are like oh you want to defeat him because of this. It's like no, it's just such a petty reason, and I love that for Lex Luthor. I don't really I like when like I know Lex Luthor sometimes has like big reasons like oh he did this to me or he did this or he did this or he has the potential to do this, but I like when it's something like oh it's like this really petty thing like oh my hair's gone, which yeah I understand like I don't want to lose my hair, but and I understand if you made me permanently bald I'd probably hate you too, but that's besides the point. Kind of I think that's exactly Sal said in his Superman Red Sun review, which I actually didn't watch until like after I read this because I was like didn't want to get it spoiled. But I haven't watched all of it. I only watched a little bit of it. But yeah, that's a whole different YouTube channel. I'm promoting a YouTube channel that I have no affiliation with. I just really like because they seem like they make good videos. Well, they do make good videos. But yeah, this book is just great. It just goes. It starts in 1958 and goes for a long time, like decades afterwards, and it's cool to see these characters age and change. It's very much like Life Story, but I feel like it's done good. Sorry, Chip. I know Chip Zdarsky wrote that, and I think he's amazing. I just don't really care for Life Story, but that might change if I read it again because it's been like I think I read it right when the trade came out. But now I got the new trade with like the extra issue, and I don't think I will change it. But maybe it's been like enough time where I'm like, maybe I will like it this time. And it's like I'm excited to read it again. But yeah, this book is so many cool fight scenes and so many cool character things, and like so many like it's just interesting. The morals, the messages, and just the beliefs of these characters, and just like the events that unfold are just so much fun, and so like you just can't stop reading it. I read this last night and I was like, I just can't stop reading it. I read it the whole thing, and when I got to the ending, like that was perfection. Like I wouldn't say it's like, well, it's not perfection, but it's really damn good. Like this is really good. I really enjoyed this. Like this is just for an Elseworlds. It's like, which I haven't read that much Elseworlds, but like I've seen like I talk about comic pop where he does a lot of Elseworlds and they're not that good. But like this, like, but I haven't read all those Elseworlds, so I want to read some of them. Like I don't know. He's like, oh, this one sounds really bad, but it sounds really cool to me. Even though the way when he's explaining it, like the JLA, the nail, that sounds really cool. But he doesn't like it. I don't think he does. And like it just sounds cool. But like this is a really cool story. It has everything I love about Superman. And also, I'm a really big fan of like the Cold War era of history. Like I know that's very recent, and people are like, that isn't history. You don't like history. That's like modern history. I'm like, history's in the word. It happened like decades ago. It's history, people. And they're like, well, I was alive when the Cold War was going on. I'm like, doesn't mean it's not history. My dad's like, yeah, I was alive. Doesn't mean it's not history, but it's not like it's like, but it's not like old history. I'm like, well, it kind of is. Like, yeah, I know it ended in like 1991, the Soviet Union, basically the Cold War, but like, it's an interesting facet. Like, it's still history. It's in the past, and it was a really interesting thing. I really love the 70s, and it's like basically everything post World War II. I like learning about. I'm not really like I know people like World War II or like ancient history. I think ancient history, but that's kind of it's interesting. Like, but like I like the Cold War era of history, like that. Just the whole Cold War, like spies and the like the threat of total nuclear annihilation and all these things, and that's like my favorite video game series is Fallout. So of course I'd like the Cold War, but like this is just I guess this has a lot of things I love. It has a lot of it's like it just feels very much what I would like in a Superman story, like what I like. He's still a good Superman, but also he's going through challenges that are set in like the past, like the Cold War era, and this is perfect for me. So I feel bad giving this a better score because I'll put my score here. But I feel better. Not better. I feel bad, but also it's my review. But because I really do like Superman, it's over there. Superman Smashes the Klan. I have it on my little table thing. But this is just perfect for me. I would have to give this a 10 on my scale of 1 through 10. Of 1 being one of the worst and 10 being the best. I'd have to give this a 10. Like this is honestly amazing. I love this. Like just everything, just the emotions and the feelings and the actions and everything. It's just so great. The way it's written, the way it's told, the way it's drawn, it's just great. It's a 10. It's a 10 out of 10. It's on the scale of 1 to 10, which you're seeing right now, it's a 10. So yeah, I think if you haven't read this book, you should definitely read it. I'm pretty sure it's easy to get. I don't think it's out of print. If it is, they need to reprint it because it's so good. But I think they might have this by one of their. I don't know if it's one of their evergreen books. I know their DC's doing like an evergreen book where they like books that are always going to be in print, which is cool. But this one, if you can find it, you should get it. It's probably at Barnes and Noble. I'm pretty sure it's Barnes and Noble. It's at or what I would like to do if you have one, go to your local comic book shop because that's where you should get these. That's where I like to do my comics. Like I know sometimes like they like it's easier to get stuff online, but just it's if you have the time and have the money, you should support your local comic book shop because they are amazing. Like at least I know the one I have. Like there's only like 2 around here, but the one I go to, both of them are great actually. They're both awesome, but I go to one more than the other because that one was around first, and that place is awesome. That's a whole different subject, but yeah, this is great. This is 10 out of 10. And so yeah, that's my review of Superman Red Son. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Hope I was explained enough of why I like it because it's just awesome. It's just plain awesome. And so yeah, eyebrows look weird. I don't know if that's just camera or the lighting. It doesn't matter. So yeah, if you like this video, then like this video. If you like this channel, then subscribe. Have a wonderful day. Bye.